Bro, you guys hear that? That's a few splice loops, bro. Okay, I'm in splice, and now I have Ableton open. Now let's get to cooking. Okay, start. First thing I'm gonna do is pull up a guitar. I love those things. Guitars always seem to be the best for me. Okay, then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna look up a genre, or maybe, no, I'm gonna pull up chords. Always like to start with some nice chords. Boom, we got this. Psych now. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay, I found it. It's that fast, bro. First thing I'm gonna do, this is a very important thing. Once I find the sample that I like, I'm gonna check the tempo and the key. If it's a drum, then you don't have to check the key. In this case, you will have to, because it's a guitar, F sharp minor and 134. So I'm gonna go into Ableton. I'm gonna type in 134. We got it in there. Oh, I have no internet, so it's gonna take long. No! Oh, it just worked. Yes. Thank you, Most High. Drag it right into splice. Boom. And that I set the tempo, it's gonna lock into the grid. If I don't set the tempo, it's not gonna lock into the grid like this. So that's why you want to set the tempo first. Now we have this in Ableton. Boom. Boom. F sharp minor. We can go here, splice. Pull it up. Instruments. Next, let's go bass. Then I'm gonna go F sharp minor, sharp keys. F sharp minor. And I always like to go with 808 for my bass, cause that's just how I roll. So I'm gonna go 808 filter. This is how important filters are, bro. Okay, so next sample. I love you, boy. Nope. It's a bubble wants to be. And it's locked in key, so everything that I play is gonna be locked into the project. The tempo too. Even if this sample is not that tempo, Ableton automatically locks the tempo. You see how these are all different tempos here? But Ableton is warping it into 134, so every sample that I play will be locked into the project. That's how dope splice is. Come on, y'all need it. I like that first one. I don't know about y'all, but this one slap. That one. Yeah, I'm gonna pick that one. Okay, we got the bass. Now the drums. Well, I like to, since I already have this F sharp minor filter on there, I always just kind of go to something else to find another instrument. Like for instance, vocals. So let's go find some vocals to add in the back. We at 6 minutes, folks. That's low-key hard, I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna say no at first, but okay. So with the mixing, I always like to do it as soon as it's happening. And as you can see, every splice sample I drag in here, I put it down -15, because then I'm gonna mix and master it over again later. But if you don't want to do that, you can of course put that at 0 if you're not gonna mix and master it later. On my guitar, I'm gonna drag it to the left, like 18. And the bass always stays in the middle. The guitar, since I dragged it left, I'm gonna get this vocal sample that I got and drag it right so that they're not competing for space. This one, I'm gonna pan it 21 to the right. Let's see what else they got. That's low-key hard too. There's too much hard ones. That's the thing, bro. Once you find something that's good, just choose it. Because then there's so much good stuff, you'll literally be there all day. Like, and then your whole project will end up with a bunch of samples. And you don't want that. The more simple it is, the better. Oh, I'm gonna save that for later. Yeah, if you like something you're not gonna use now, you just heart it. And it'll go into your collection library, and you can go back later and use it later if you want. I love that feature. I probably have thousands of samples in my liked folder. You know what? I'm gonna just choose down and move on. So now I'm gonna cancel this out, this F minor. Now that I have my everything I need in my keys, I'm gonna go to drums now. 10 minutes I've been so far. That's not even that bad for a beat. For drums, I usually always put in the BPM. With the integration with Ableton, you don't have to put the tempo for drums because it already locks it to your project. When I'm searching for drums, I usually put in the tempo. Sometimes when you warp drums too much, they start sounding different. I'm gonna put in 134. And I usually pick trap for my drums because I just like the mix of guitar and trap drums and an 808 bass. It just, for me, it gets me in that vibe and I can start coming up with lyrics really fast. This is what it's all about, is just building a vibe that's good enough for you to start creating vocals. As a songwriter, this is very important because if you have ideas in your head and you can't kind of get them out with a beat, it's much harder. If you have a little beat idea and you're writing to that beat idea, you can definitely vibe into the beat more. In my opinion, it's easier for a songwriter to do it that way. Drums. Let's go. Let's go. First sample, bro. That's what I'm talking about. Bro, that's professional percussion. That one, bro. Go with the first one. Okay, so what I also like to do while I'm doing all of this stuff, add a little reverb on this guitar. Change it. So it started like this, and I add some reverb. I just drown it. Now it's different from the original one. Then what I also can do is add an echo on it. Really make it my own. And this is a stock plugin from Ableton, Echo. And then what I like to do is boom, okay, now that I have that, I duplicate this and then I drag the effect one. First of all, let's color it different so I know that it's different. So boom, this is now the one with the effect on it, and this one is now the one without the effect on it. And now when it hits here, it's gonna add that delay on there. So we have some, some change. For arrangement, usually I just like to select everything and drag it over the first 4 bars. I do that and I just have, this is my intro right here. And then I have my tag already in my template here.
It's a Bubba wants to be.
You hear that?
I love you, Bubba.
I advise everybody to make an Ableton template with their vocal chains already, and all the tracks that you normally use every time you make a song have your tag already put in there as well, and that saves you a lot of time. If you don't have a template, bro, you're asleep. Let me know in the comments if I should make y'all a template. And these 2 vocal samples, they're downloading still. I'm gonna turn them both down. Well, this one got panned to the right, so I'm automatically gonna pan this one to the left a little bit, maybe like a 12, so it's not so far. I'm gonna drown them in reverb, both of them, just so they kind of match the space of each other. They kind of have the same effect on them, so they kind of mix together better. It's not like they sound like they were, recorded in 2 different places. Well, that's at least what I think. I drowned it in reverb. Let's turn it down like a lot so I can barely hear it. And this one too, around the same. I'm gonna add CLA vocals, stereo pitch this, chamber it. I'm just gonna steal this part. See, there we go. Okay, then I arrange here. You see I have my intro here. The hook is gonna be here probably, or the first verse. And then I have this different section here, which is another breakdown of the beat happening. Grab the drum, drop it right over here into Ableton. And the drums I like to put on the bottom. with the bass, and this is the guitar. I usually put it on the top. Let's color the guitar pink. So we got the guitar, a vocal, another vocal, the guitar in a different way, which I should put up here. And then we have the bass and the drum loop. That's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 samples we have here. And it took me 30 minutes to find these 5 samples. I had a little bit of technical difficulties because my internet was slow, but if I wasn't making this video, I probably could have did this in 10 or 15 minutes. That's not bad. 30 minutes for this. Let's go. I think I'm gonna change this to over here because it's kind of a build-up. That's where I put the teaser in, put the chamber in, blast it. See how we get that? I love that. Pull that back around like 33. But now I feel like I gotta give this vocal sample a breath. Or maybe I should start it. Yeah, this definitely can start.
It's a Bubba Watson beat. I love you, Bubba.
Yep. Now, what do you guys think we need here? A riser. Think about it. Who has risers? Splice has risers. Go at the top, search riser. That's all we gotta do. Grab in the key, F sharp minor. And guess who has risers in the key of your song now you're creating? Splice does. I'll take that. First one. I'll take that one just for giggles. Okay, we got it. We got our riser. So now I'm gonna drop this riser right in the project, right there. Bring it under here.
It's a Bubba Watson.
Come on, it's too easy, dog. Yeah, I'm gonna put some reverb on that riser to blend it in a little. Okay, now this is where I am like, okay, there's enough meat and bones in here for me to start putting vocals. I have a instrument like a guitar, piano, or melody driven or chord driven instrument. I have a bass, which is the foundation, and I have drums, which is holding my tempo. So I have all 3 things that a songwriter needs to start writing to a beat. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pull up my vocal chain right here in my template. I'm gonna turn it on, turn on my auto tune for the haters who don't like auto tune. I'm gonna put in F sharp minor, and now I'm swag-a-daggling. Now we swag-a-daggling. And we got all these effects, you hear it? Now we're gonna start recording. 34 minutes in, and I'm already recording a song, bro. Let's go. There we go, first bar. Okay, once I get my first bar, duplicate that main vocal track and delete it, and then I start there and leave that track up there, and I just keep building. Y'all see what I'm doing? I'm just riding off like the vibe I'm feeling. This is a songwriting class too. I'm just saying whatever comes to my mind about Splice because that's what I'm making a video about. I hope you guys are learning just. Ooh, I like the last one. This is patchwork, y'all. So you see that right here? This one I did not say I. Made a beat and I prove it. But I just recorded this one and said I. So now I cut that, drag that in here. And now it's a part of this sentence. I zoom in, fade that, and now watch. It'll sound like I said I. I don't know how it's jumping out of the pocket there, but it kind of matches. Okay, and then I just grab this, bring it back, run it back one time, ba-da-ba.
Making a beat in minutes. I'm splicing it. I'm splicing it. I'm splicing it.
Okay, I'm gonna pitch this last one down 12 dB.
I'm splicing it.
And that's it, bro. We got us a whole hook and verse.
Making a beat in minutes. I'm splicing it. Possibilities endless. Swim my options infinite. I get a loop and go stupid. Made the beat and approve it. Might be a splice step, but you still can't do this. Making a beat in minutes. I'm splicing it. I'm splicing it. I'm splicing it.
So I got here 5 splice samples and I got my vocal here. That's what I did in 51 minutes. Not bad. I made like half a song in an hour because I was able to utilize splice, make a little beat, start an idea, have a finished product at the end of the day, like halfway finished basically. And I was just messing around, of course, to show you guys, but yeah, when I'm doing serious projects and stuff, I'm gonna start recording it. But just so y'all know, I'll be here. Ask me any questions y'all need about this process, and let me know if you guys need any advice on Ableton or using Splice or any of that stuff. I've had Splice since 2016, 10 years now, so invest, start building your library now. Okay, notice that these samples from Splice, they already knock, bro. So if you're looking at this bass right here, you see how it's already fully mastered. You see this? It's already fully mastered compared to my vocal, which has no master on it yet, so it's very small. So these are all already mixed and mastered. You don't have to worry if your sounds are not up to industry standard, because every single one of Splice's samples are mixed and mastered properly for this exact purpose, is to give you a professional sound without having to go through all the headaches of creating professional sounds. You just have them at your fingertips. So most people say, I have no musical background and I don't know music theory. Can I really do this? This is the proof right here. It already knocks. Theory is optional, feeling isn't. If it feels good, drag it in your Ableton or your DAW and it's gonna knock. It just matters if it feels good to you. You don't gotta worry about if it knocks, because it does. Most people also say, I own a bunch of plugins I don't even know why I bought. As you can see in the project, while I was doing that, I didn't need to go into any plugin and change this and change that and design a sound or find chord progression. Like, I didn't need to do any of that stuff, and that allows my Ableton project to be very clean. My CPU is not taking up a bunch of power from instruments and VSTs and all of that stuff like that. So that is a really good come up for using samples, because they use less computer power to run. Sound design takes forever and the drums still sound weak. You don't learn to design a kick. You borrow one that already sounds professional. Where do I even get the sounds? Splice is the ingredient. Does this count as me making music if I'm just stacking samples? Yes, and the finished track is worth way more than the song you started and never finished. So to me, it's not me just finding samples and stacking them and, oh, I think I made a beat and I'm not so cool because I just stack samples. I'm literally a curator. I hear something that sounds and feels good to me and I put them together with a bunch of different ones, and that creates my sound. It's like DJ Khaled. He curates a bunch of people and puts them together, and that's his sound. That's DJ Khaled. People know him for that. And a lot of people hate on him for that, but it works for him. I understand if you know how to play instruments and you know how to do all of this sound design and stuff, that's really awesome. Kudos to you. But we don't know how to do that stuff, and it takes too long to learn, bro. I'd rather just drag a sample in, know it's gonna sound perfect and professional, and call it a day. That's all we need to do. Thanks for watching, you guys. Appreciate you guys listening to my ramble. Tap in, subscribe for the next masterclass. I appreciate you guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Aloha, and always God bless. Yee! Chee-hoo.